Please rise. Ladies and gentlemen, the 16th Sangguniang Panlalawigan is now convened for its 83rd regular session. The Honorable Vice Governor Adeline M. Angeles presiding.
The 83rd regular session of the 16th Sangguniang Panlalawigan is now called to order. Requesting the Gentle Lady from Santa Cruz, Honorable Mercy Rejano, to kindly lead the invocation to be followed by the National Anthem and Marinduque March, then Board Members' Creed by Honorable Mel Gabal and Cabo.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Heavenly Father, we come to you in the mighty name of Jesus. Thanking you and praising you. Lord God, today we earnestly pray and hope for your blessings as we deliberate while in session. Please give us more strength individually, both physical and mental, clearer vision and capabilities to enable us to deliver the basic services and the other needs of our people. In view of this, O Lord, please endue us with talent and the skill needed to cope with the challenges imposed upon us by our positions in the public service. We ask that you would guide and direct our session today so that it is full of wisdom, productivity, and respect for one another. Thank you for every gift that we have been given. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Bayang magiliw, pero sa silanganan, alam ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y umay. Lupang hinirang, tuyang ka ng magiliw, sa manlulupit, di na masisingin, sa lalat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mo kamay. Kailang ang tula at awit sa paglayang tinangan, ang isap ng watawat mo'y nabuhay na natinigil. Ang bituin na tarong niya kailan pa may pag-ibig. Walang araw ng maraming pagsita, buhay langit sa atin mo. Ang ligaya na pantay mamagin, nakamatay ng dahil sa'yo. Isla Pangilias ng bansa, hanggang mo'y bigay maharap. Mga tagamot na kalupa, sa yaman ay sabana. Ang iyong kakangilog at kabundukan, kaya walang kalikasan. Ika ng Diyos at ibigay, ingatan ang karapatan. Halina ang angin ito at yamanin, ang lupain ay aking bumalik. Nakasalino ay ating gamitin, umulan ang bayan natin. Ay kaya namin pinamahal, pangakit ko tahimikan. Ang sinumang salino ay mananan, ligaya ang makakamtan. Sa puso't isip ng iyong namamayan, kaya bumili ang iyong yaman. Nang sumakanan ang iyong akilan, ang malungkutin aming mutyan.
members creed. Raise your right hand. I am a provincial board member. Given the mandate to serve my constituency through responsible, responsive and effective legislation, provide dynamic leadership, promote and maximize the delivery of basic services for the general welfare under a regime of truly consultative and participative democracy. I impose upon myself the supreme obligation to perform and carry out the functions prescribed by law unselfishly and with utmost dedication, thereby becoming a genuine catalyst of change in my locality and in our nation.
Requesting our secretary to kindly call the roll.
Honorable Mark Julius P. Caballes, Honorable Aurelio J. Leva III, Honorable Antonio L. Mangkukang III, Honorable Bernardine Opis Mercado, Honorable Melgabal R. Encabo, Honorable Mercedes Arrijano, Honorable Danilo R. Red,
Present.
Honorable Ismael D. Pilim, Honorable Jose Neril L. Manggol, Honorable Carlos F. De Peralta, Honorable Bertinos A. Valencia. Madam Presiding Officer, with the 9 members of the board present, we have the necessary quorum.
The chair then declares the presence of quorum. We can proceed with the order of business. But before the presiding officer recognize the floor leader, requesting also Mr. Secretary kindly recognize the presence of some guests and observers.
For the information of the board, we have here 3 AB Political Science students as observer, as requested by the Provincial Director of DILG, namely Ms. Carla Janie L. Manyanita, Ms. Cristel Ann Rocha, and Mr. Jeffrey P. Pielago.
Okay, thank you, and welcome to our guests and observers. Yes, Honorable Leva is recognized.
Madam Presiding Officer, thank you very much. For the reading and adoption of the minutes of the previous session, I move that we dispense with the reading of the minutes of the previous session dated April 26, 2024, and consider the same as having been read without prejudice on submission or manifestation of corrections by the members of the board. I so move.
Any second to the motion? Duly seconded. Any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. The body will dispense with the reading of the minutes and proceed directly to the correction. Yes, Honorable Leva.
Inviting members of the board to have some corrections with the minutes of the previous session.
Any correction from the floor?
Since no member of the board manifested any correction, Madam Presiding Officer, may move for the adoption and approval of the minutes of the 82nd regular session of the 16th Sangguniang Palalawigan, dated April 26, 2024. I so move.
Any second to the motion by Honorable Leva? Duly seconded by Honorable Opis Mercado, Honorable Rejano, Honorable Encabo. Any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. The minutes of the April 26, 2024 session of the Sanggunian is now adopted.
We now go to matters arising from the minutes, inviting members of the board who have some matters who wants to raise arising from the minutes.
Any matters arising from the floor? Yes, Honorable Leva.
We proceed now with the approval amendment of the agenda. For today's agenda, we don't have any privileged speech nor question hour. For the reference and business and first reading, for the messages and correspondence from the Governor, we have 1 item. We have 3 items for communications and petition, and 1 additional item, which is the letter of Maria Mercedes Gonzalez and Gilbert Byron Salazar, addressed to the Honorable Adeline M. Angeles. And for the municipal ordinances, for the review of the board, we have one. We have two proposed ordinances. We have one proposed resolution. For the committee report, we have one committee report, the report of the Joint Committee on Social Services and the Committee on Rules, Laws, and Ordinances, and additional committee report coming from the Committee of the Whole, led by the Health and Nutrition Committee. For the calendar of business, we don't have any finished business, and we have 3 items for the business for the day. We don't have any unassigned business. We have no proposed ordinance or resolution for third and final reading. Madam Presiding Officer, we move for the approval of today's agenda as amended.
Before the adoption of today's agenda, the presiding officer recognized the presence of Honorable Jose Antonio Mangkukang. Yes, there is a pending motion for the adoption of today's agenda as amended. Any second to the motion? Duly seconded. Any objection? Hearing none, the motion is approved. The amended agenda for today's session is now approved.
As I've said, we don't have any privileged speech nor question hour. We now go to the committee reports. The first report is the Joint Committee report of the Committee on Social Services and the Committee on Rules, Laws, and Ordinances. May I ask that we recognize the chairperson of the Committee on Social Services.
Honorable Mercedes Rejano is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. The committee report number 397-2024. The Joint Committee on Social Services and Committee on Rules, Laws, and Ordinances. Subject: the request of Mr. Joel A. Resilia, PSWDO, for the passage of an ordinance for the implementation, localization of RA 9433, otherwise known as the Magna Carta, for public social workers and its implementing rules and regulation through joint Memorandum Circular number 01-2018 issued by the DSWD and the DBM. Reporting committee upon which was referred to the above mentioned subject matter is now ready to submit its findings and recommendation on this august body that were adduced for the hearing conducted on April 29, 2024. Attendance: members of the committee, Honorable Rejano, Honorable Aurelio Leba III, Honorable Bernardine Opis Mercado, Honorable Danny Red. Resource person: Ms. Mariam Sadiwa, PBO, Ms. Linelyn Soleta, PSWDO representative. Findings: calendared on the 81st regular session of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan was the request of Mr. Joel A. Resilia, PSWDO, for the passage of an ordinance for implementation and localization of RA 9433, otherwise known as the Magna Carta for the public social worker. Joint Memorandum Circular number 01-2018 was issued by the DSWD and the DBM on December 27, 2018 to serve as rules and regulations on the grant of compensation related Magna Carta benefits to public social workers. Number 3, according to GMC number 01-2018, PSWs are entitled to the following benefits: additional compensation for services behind the normal work hours and on non-working days. Letter B, hazard pay. Letter C, subsistence allowance. Letter D, transportation, travel expenses. Letter A, longevity pay, free living quarter or quarters allowance, highest basic salary upon retirement, and the clothing allowance. Number 4, the provincial budget officer posed no objection and the implementation localization of RA 9433 of its IRR. However, its effectivity should be made retroactive January 2024. Recommendation: based therefore, the committee hereby recommends for the approval of the first reading the proposed ordinance entitled An Ordinance Implementing the Provision of the RA 9433, otherwise known as the Magna Carta, for public social workers by authorizing the governor to grant compensation-related benefits to PSWs, providing funds therefore, and for other related purposes. And there is another additional recommendations that the proposed ordinance be referred to the Provincial Budget Office, Provincial HRMO, and the Provincial SWDO for the necessary comments and recommendation before the committee conducts its hearing. Madam Presiding Officer, I move for the adoption of this committee report.
Any clarification from the floor? The recommendation of the committee is for the enactment of
Magna Carta.
dito of an ordinance. Okay, but it is already for first reading or kailangan pang i-refer? Alin ang mauuna po? Approval for first reading or iintayin muna yung comment from the budget officer?
I think it is necessary for the approval of the ordinance of the first reading.
Okay. So it is just in the committee level that they will be
Yes.
called. Okay. Any so what is the pleasure?
So I move that this will be scheduled for this session, the approval of the first reading, for the first reading.
That is the recommendation.
Yes.
So any motion to adopt the committee report, including recommendation?
I move for the approval or for the adoption of the committee report and for this committee report, and it will be the approval for the first reading in our business for today.
Any objection to the motion to approve the committee report number 397-2024 rendered by the gentle lady from Santa Cruz? Hearing none, the motion is approved. The committee report as rendered is now adopted. And likewise, as part of the recommendation is for the approval on first reading, and it is already a committee report. Then it is now approved on first reading and likewise referred to the Committee on Social Services as well as Laws and Ordinances.
Madam Presiding Officer, for the next committee report is the committee report of the Committee of the Whole led by the Health and Nutrition Committee. May I ask that the chairperson of the Committee on Health and Nutrition be recognized.
Honorable Mercado is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. Committee Report Number 398-2024, Committee of the Whole Health and Nutrition Lead Committee, subjecting with KPFC to address the issues regarding the medical equipment in the MPH. Committee Report Number 356-2024, adopted through SP Resolution Number 1237, Series 2024. The reporting committee unto which was referred the above-mentioned subject matter is now ready to submit its findings and recommendations to this august body that were adduced from the hearing conducted on April 24, 2024. Attendance: members of the committee, Honorable Adeline Mangailes, Honorable Bernardino Opis Mercado, Honorable Aurelio J. Lebad III, Honorable Jose Neril L. Mangol, Honorable Danilo Ared, Honorable Mark Julius P. Caballes, Honorable Ismael D. Pilim, Honorable Bertunes A. Valencia, resource persons, Dr. Annette Macayaon, MPH, Mr. Sean Fabric, KPFC representative, Ms. Mary Jane Fabric, KPFC via online. Findings: 1. On February 16, 2024, the chairperson of the Committee on Health and Nutrition, Honorable Bernardine Opis Mercado, delivered a privileged speech regarding some concerns from the constituents on the services of the Marinduque Provincial Hospital, particularly the non-operational CT scan, X-ray, and ultrasound machine. 2. As a result, Committee Report number 356-2024 was adopted through SP Resolution number 1237, Series 2024, wherein the committee recommends that the Sangguniang Panlalawigan shall conduct a follow-up meeting with KPFC to address the issues regarding the medical equipment, hence the hearing held on April 24, 2024. 3. According to Mr. Sean Fabric, KPFC representative, A, the CT scan machine at MPH has been fully functional since the 3rd week of April. B. It was on the first week of January 2024 when the complete breakdown of the CT scan machine was reported to the KPFC. C. As soon as KPFC received the said report, they immediately contacted the General Electric supplier of the said machine for its maintenance, but due to the transaction licensing issue, the preventive maintenance was delayed and was only carried out last February 2024. D. KPFC originally, Mac Tycoon applied for a transaction license with GE in April 2023. However, it was only approved on February 2, 2024 due to issues with turnover and transition as a new company and the amendment in its previous license from medical supply to medical devices. E. Since the transaction license with GE has already been approved, the preventive maintenance of the CT scan machine and other medical devices concessioned in the MPH, if immediately reported to KPFC, will be serviced within 24 working hours. F. The X-ray machine in the MPH is not broken. Something needs to be fixed in the workstation according to the inspection done by the resident biomedical engineer. And G. The KPFC will be placing automatic voltage regulators, AVRs, and uninterruptible power supply UPS at MPH to prevent damage to medical equipment due to frequent power outages. Number 2, according to Ms. Mary Jane Fabre of KPFC, A, to date, KPFC has not collected any charges from the services rendered by the CT scan machine, as charging requires complete data and documents of patients undergoing CT scan, which are mostly lacking. B, there is a brand new X-ray machine from Fuji at the MPH, but it cannot be installed due to low power flow. However, by the time KPFC has purchased a UPS, the said machine will be installed. 3, the signed MOA is subject to ratification of the SP. 4, according to Dr. Annette Macayaan of MPH, the ultrasound machine has always been functional and that the charges for the utilization of the CT scan are not stipulated in the draft MOA. Recommendation: based on the foregoing, the committee hereby recommends that necessary representation be made to the executive through provincial legal officer so that the signed memorandum of agreement or MOA between KPFC and the provincial government of Marinduque, Marinduque Provincial Hospital, PGM, thus MPH, be formally endorsed to the Sangguniang Panlalawigan for ratification. Respectfully submitted, Vice Governor and Chairperson, Committee of the Whole, Honorable Adeline M. Angeles, Chairperson, Committee on Health and Nutrition, Honorable Bernardine Opis Mercado, concurred by members, Honorable Mark Julius P. Caballas, members, Honorable Melgabal R. Incabo, Honorable Aurel J. Leba III, Honorable Mercedes Arejano, Honorable Antonio L. Mangkukang III, Honorable Danilo R. Red, Honorable Seneril L. Mangol, Honorable Ishmael D. Pilim, Honorable Bertunes A. Valencia, and Honorable Carlos F. D. Peralta.
Thank you, Honorable Opis Mercado. Any clarification from the floor? With due respect to the members of the committee, as the presiding officer also sat down during that committee hearing, can the presiding officer recommend a possible change of words in the recommendation? Because in the recommendation, parang ang dating is we will ask the governor through the legal officer na parang ibigay sa atin yung kopya ng signed MOA at nang ma-ratify natin. Parang ganun ang dating, ano? But I think it will be more prudent na let's just inquire to the executive first as to the status of the implementation of the authority that we gave him, if there is already a MOA signed, and if there is a necessity for that MOA, just in case, already signed, to be endorsed to the SP for ratification. At least parang hindi natin siya pinapangunahan ba na o ibigay nyo na sa amin, i-ratify na namin. Yeah, I think just some thoughts that I think it will be more prudent if it will be in the form of query. Ano na po ang status ng resolution that we gave you, and meron na po bang na-sign na MOA, and kailangan pa po ba yun na ma-properly ma-endorse dito sa amin. So, he will be reminded, they will be reminded through the legal office. Any comment on that, Honorable Leva?
Okay po yung una, kaya lang yung sa uli po ay kung i-inquire natin sila to ratify, kung there is a necessity to ratify, ay nakalagay po naman doon sa resolution natin na there is really a necessity. Siguro po ay to remind them that it requires ratification. If ever,
yeah, okay. So, will the reporting committee chair amenable to that? The recommendation will be to make a communication to the governor with attention to the provincial legal office for the requesting for the status of the implementation of the authority we gave him, and if there is already signed MOA in relation to that, and yun, and of course they will be reminded already that there is a need for it to be ratified.
Yes, Madam Presiding Officer, I am amenable to the to your recommendations.
Maraming salamat po. And so what is now the pleasure of the
I move
reporting
for
committee
the
chair?
adoption as amended.
Thank you very
you.
much, Honorable Dindin Opis and members of the committee. Any objection? Hearing none, the motion is approved. The committee report is now adopted with some amendment.
Madam Presiding Officer, may I ask to recognize the chairperson of the Committee on Education, Culture, and the Arts for its committee report.
Honorable Danny Red is recognized.
Here, Madam Chair. Committee report number 2024-685. Resolution congratulating Mr. Justin Lay Mangaliman Liasos for being hailed as the champion in the Condiman Song Fest during the 11th Philippine Association of State Universities and Colleges Culture and Arts Festival 2024, held on April 23 to 25, 2024 at the Philippine Normal University, Manila. I move for the adoption of the committee report, Madam Chair.
There is a pending motion for the adoption of the committee report as rendered. Any objection? Hearing none, the committee report rendered by Honorable Red is now adopted.
Madam Chair, and the accompanying resolution be transferred to the business of the day, Madam
And
Chair.
that the accompanying resolution will be included in the business for the day. Thank you, Honorable Red.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Madam Presiding Officer, I move that we convert the body into committee of the whole to discuss the referral on the complaint of Ms. Christina Pistintan against Vice Mayor Mark Senyo.
Any
so
second?
moved.
Any second to the motion of the Committee on Rules Chairman? Duly seconded by Honorable Mercado. Any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. This body is now converted into the Committee of the Whole on Administrative Investigation and Adjudication.
Madam Chair, there are actually several complaints from the some citizens of the municipality of Buwak with regards to the complaint. However, according to our rules, we will give the respondent 7 days to respond on a verified complaint. And we have, the first thing that we must do now is to determine which among those complaints are truly verified. So may we ask the Secretary as to the content, and we have to determine the sufficiency in form before we act on the said matter.
Recognizing our good secretary for some related information.
Good afternoon po. For the information of the board, we have received on April 25, 2024 at 4:04 p.m. Following a letter complaint against Vice Mayor Mark Isenyo of Buwak, Marinduque, submitted by Miss Cristina Josefina Festintan. So, on the lodging a complaint against Vice Mayor Mark Isenyo for the following offenses: oppression, misconduct in office, abuse of authority, and violation of Republic Act 6713. So this is the original complaint, and on April 30, we have received another letter from her, and the request and attaching a letter from Mr. Joel Mascareñas, Mr. Reynold Manuba, Ms. Kenny Joy Sumugat, Ms. Ghislaine Sales, and Mr. Dennis Mascareñas, that they be included as complainant in her original complaint, and that their sworn statements and the recorded blotter be entered as their verified complaint against Mr. Mark Anthony Isenyo. So the original complaint was subscribed and sworn to Attorney Roque O. Rosales. And on the addendum, subject inclusion as complainant against Mark Isenyo, we have received a letter from Ms. Ghislaine Sales. It was not verified. Another letter from Kenny Joy Sumug.
When you say it is not verified, there is no
subscription and sworn to.
Okay.
And Mr. Reynold Manuba and Kenny Joy Sumugat, the same. It was only a letter. Then from Dennis Mascareñas, it was subscribed and sworn to before Attorney Roque O. Rosales on April 29, 2024.
Yes,
So,
Honorable Leva.
Madam Presiding Officer, so how many complaints are there in all?
So we have the original complaint of Ms. Josefina L. Festintan. Then we have from Joel Mascareñas, Ghislaine Sales, jointly from Reynold Manuba and Kenny Joy Sumugat, and Dennis Mascareñas.
So five complaints. Among the five, how many are verified?
Based on our documents, there are only two, from Dennis Mascareñas and from the original
I
complaint.
propose the original complaint. So before we act on the said matter, may we hear from the lawyer member of the board if she has some opinions on the matter before we decide.
May we hear any legal input from a member of the bar member of this august body, Honorable Caballes?
On what specific issue, Vice?
On the determination of the sufficiency of the requirements as to the form in the complaint, in this administrative complaint. So there are five. There are six. There are six complaints. Only two of which are verified. So first, the body will be treating the complaints as six separate complaints, even if it is the endorsement letter or the cover letter apparently is just through Mrs. Festin, tama po ba? But they will be regarded as six different complaints. Yes, Honorable Leva?
The original complaint was amended by the letter from Ms. Ninay Piskin herself that the other complainants are co-complainants of her. Tama po ba, ano? So, we are now treating that as separate complaints.
The chair declares 3 minutes recess. The session resumed.
Madam Presiding Officer, the members of the board are requesting that Article 11 be read. Up to what, 210, Section 210.
Okay, requesting our Secretary, Sir James, to kindly lead the board.
Rule 41 of the Internal Rules of Procedure, procedures of the Committee of the Whole on Administrative Investigation and Adjudication of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan. So, Section 213. Letter A, a complaint referred to the committee shall be in writing, under oath, and dated, setting forth in simple, concise, and direct statements the following: the name and legal address of the party filing the complaint, hereinafter referred to as complainant. Number 2 is the name, elected position, municipality, and legal address of the respondent. Number 3, the nature of alleged violation and the facts alleged to give rise to the violation of the complaint shall not contain innuendo, speculative assertion, or conclusory statements. Letter B, any documents in the possession of the complainant that relate to the allegations may be submitted by the complainant. Letter C, the committee may defer action on a complaint when the committee has reason to believe such conduct is being reviewed by appropriate law enforcement, regulatory authorities, or a court. The committee shall report to the legislative body, copy furnished to complainant of such action. Letter D, a complaint may not be amended without leave of the committee. Otherwise, any new allegation of improper conduct must be submitted in a new complaint that independently meets the procedural requirements of the House rules and the committee's rules. 214, rights of respondents and witnesses. Letter A, a respondent shall be informed of the right to be represented by a counsel to be provided at his or her own expense. A respondent may seek to waive any procedural rights or steps during the hearing process. A request for waiver must be done in writing, signed by the respondent, and must detail what procedural steps the respondent seeks to waive. Any such request shall be subject to the acceptance by the committee. Witnesses shall be afforded a reasonable period of time as determined by the committee to prepare for the hearing and to obtain a counsel. Letter D, except as otherwise specifically authorized by the committee, no committee member or staff member may disclose to any person outside the committee the name of any witness called or subpoenaed to testify or to produce evidence. No member of the committee may make a statement that would prejudice the pending case. Letter E, prior to their testimony, witnesses shall be furnished printed copy of the committee's rules of procedure. Letter F, witnesses may be accompanied by their own counsel for the purpose of advising them concerning their constitutional rights. The chairman of the committee may punish a breaches of orders and decorum and of professional responsibility on the part of the counsel by the censure and exclusion from the hearings, and the committee may cite the offender for contempt. The committee shall not be liable to pay any compensation in the form of attorney's fee of the witness counsel or for witness lost earning. Letter H, upon approval of the committee, a witness upon request may be provided with a transcript of his or her deposition or other testimony taken, or with the approval of the chairman, may be permitted to examine such transcript in the office of the committee. Any such request shall be done in writing and shall include a statement that the witness or counsel agree to maintain confidentiality of all proceedings covered by such transcript. Letter 215. Section 215, Administrative Procedures. Notwithstanding the provisions of the law, letter A, the committee within 7 days from the receipt of a verified complaint in accordance with Rule 4 of this Rules of Procedure shall notify in writing the respondent, enclosing copy of the verified answer to the complaint against him or her within 15 days from receipt of the said notice. The respondent may, in writing, within 15 days prescriptive period, request for another 15 days extension within which to submit a verified answer. Such request, if deemed meritorious by the committee, shall be granted without formally notifying the respondent. Letter C, failure without justifiable reason on the part of the respondent to submit a verified answer within the time prescribed shall be construed as a waiver of the right of the respondent, and the committee shall render the respondent in default and shall proceed with the proper disposition of the subject case. Letter D, within 10 days from receipt of verified answer and when all the issues are joined, the committee shall commence investigation of the case and when deemed necessary may recommend the preventive suspension of the respondent pursuant to and in accordance with Section 63, Chapter 4, Book 1 of RA 7160. Letter E, the investigation of the case shall be terminated within 90 days from the start of the investigative hearing thereof. The committee shall within 30 working days render a decision stating clearly and distinctly the facts and reasons for such decision. The said decision shall be reported in a plenary session for approval. And 216, investigative hearing procedure. All such hearing shall be open to the public unless the committee determines that the hearing or any part thereof should be closed door. Letter B, chairman of the committee shall ask the respondent and all witnesses whether they intend to be represented by counsel. If so, respondent or witness of their or their illegal representative shall be legal representative shall be provided written designation of the counsel. A respondent or witness who is represented by counsel shall not be questioned in the absence of counsel unless an explicit waiver is obtained. Letter C, the committee shall provide the respondent an opportunity to present orally or in writing a statement which must be rendered under oath or affirmation regarding the allegations and any other relevant questions arising out of the inquiry. Letter D, any relevant evidence shall be admissible unless the evidence is privileged under the precedents of the Sanggunian. The chairman of the committee shall rule upon any question of admissibility or pertinency of the evidence, motion, procedure, or any other matter, and may direct any witness to answer any question under penalty of contempt. A witness, counsel, or member of the committee may appeal any evidentiary ruling to the members present. On such an appeal shall be governed the question of admissibility, and no appeal shall lie on the committee. Letter F, the complainant and the respondent or their counsel may, subject to the approval of the committee, enter into stipulation of facts that are not in dispute. 217, administrative appeal, finality of judgment. All cases decided by the committee of the whole as an administrative investigation and adjudication of the Sanggunian may be appealed from. Kulang to. In cases of appeal, where appeal is taken, the perfection of the appeal shall be upon expiration of the last day to appeal by any party. No party shall be allowed a second motion for reconsideration of final order, judgment, or resolution. If no appeal is taken by any party, all cases decided by the committee of the whole shall become final and executory after 30 days from receipt of other judgment or resolution by any party.
Okay, I think that is a sufficient reminder for us now. Although we can continue reading pa rin yung related provisions ng ating internal rules on administrative proceedings. But for the meantime, I think we are guided on the initial action that the committee of the whole could take on the issue. But it's now the pleasure of the body, Honorable Leva.
In accordance with Section 215, Paragraph A, the only verified complaint that was determined by this committee is the complaint of Ms. Christina Ninay Pistin and that of Joel and Dennis Mascareñas. So within 7 days, upon receipt of that complaint, we will ask the respondent, Vice Mayor Mark Anthony Iseño, to file a verified answer to the complaint against him within 15 days from receipt of the said notice.
With regard to the other documents?
With regard to the those complaints which were determined by the committee as unverified, we will return it to the complainants for their perusal, and it's up to them what action they will be done subsequently.
With information that the Sangguniang could not act on the matter
because
for being unverified.
For not being verified. Yes, Madam.
Okay.
So that is the recommendation of the Committee of the Whole. The initial recommendation of the Committee of the Whole.
Again, so is there any second to that recommendation? Duly seconded. Any objection? Any additional information? Yes, Honorable Caballes.
Madam Presiding Officer, would just like to manifest that the initial ruling or recommendation of the committee is only, as of the moment, based on the rules when the Sangguniang Panlalawigan may act and receive on complaints similar to this nature. It does not refer or does not consider yet any merit or any other document or evidence furnished. It is simply, we are simply now relying on the requirement of our own internal rules that the complaint is verified. Any other questions regarding the case are not yet to be considered unless and until the respondent has given his or her verified answer.
Thank you, Honorable Caballes. Are you recommending then that it be referred, that the communication make reference also to the internal rules as legal basis?
Yes, Vice. Yes po, Madam Presiding Officer, and that is also the same reason why we opted to have our internal rules read, because it is not public knowledge, so that the viewing public and also the other members of this august body will be reminded that we are an impartial and only, as of the moment, only a body that has received the complaint and has not yet considered any other documents referring thereto.
Thank you, Honorable Caballes. So with that, any objection to the motion with additional information from Honorable Caballes? Any objection with regard to the recommendation, initial recommendation? So again, may Honorable Leva reiterate what will be the recommendation of the committee?
Again, Madam Presiding Officer, the first recommendation is to send the respondent, I mean, Vice Mayor Mark Anthony Senyo, a copy of the complaint of Maria Cristina Bistinpan and Dennis Mascareñas. Number 2 is to return to the original complainants the 5 unverified or 4 unverified complaints, informing them that the committee could not accept their complaint for being unverified.
In consideration of the provision of the internal rules.
Yes, Madam Presiding Officer, in consideration, and let also number 3 is let the respondent and the complainant be given a copy of the Article 16 as provided for in the internal rules of procedure. Nakalagay po dito yon, nabasa ko kanina yon. At also the recommendation of Bukal Maki Caballes as manifested earlier. So I move for the adoption of the committee.
Okay, thank you. So there is a pending motion duly seconded a while ago. Any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved, and the recommendation of the committee on this particular concern is now adopted. Okay. Yes, Honorable Encabo.
Chair, I just want to ask if the 3 complainants who were not verified, we know the address kung paano natin ibibigay sa kanila, or kasi parang nakalagay po, Madam Chair, it was only endorsed by Ms. Christine Tan. Do we know the address? Or ibabalik po natin yung complaint nila doon sa...
How will they be notified of
yes,
the,
yes, Madam Chair,
of the decision, initial decision of the committee?
Or ibabalik po natin yung sa... Kasi parang in-include lang po ata ni Ms. Christine Bayod. Yes, thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Encabo. Okay, dun po sa verified complaint on the part of Dennis, meron po siya. Okay po. Then, thank you, Honorable Encabo. Then, at this point in time, maybe the communication will be coursed through through Mrs. Festin. Anyway, she's the one who, quote-unquote, submitted the documents to the Sanggunian. Okay, so with that, no objection, then the motion of Honorable Leva, with additional information, just subject to the acceptable style by the Secretariat, is now approved. That will be recommended.
I move that we terminate the proceedings in the Committee of the Whole and revert back to the original form of the session.
This body is now being reverted again to the regular session of this August body.
Madam Presiding Officer, we now go to the calendar of business. We don't have any unfinished business. For the business for the day, the first item in the business for the day is proposed ordinance number 16-64, and may I ask the Secretary to read the title of the said ordinance.
Proposed ordinance number 16-64, an ordinance providing for the reorganization of the Provincial Health Office by creating new divisions and units and abolition and creation of positions in compliance with the Universal Health Care Act, defining its function, duties, and responsibilities, appropriating funds therefore and for other related purposes, authored by Honorable Mark Julius P. Caballas, Chairperson of the Committee on Human Resource, Labor, and Employment, is sponsored by the Committee on Human Resource, Labor, and Employment.
Madam Presiding Officer, may I ask that we recognize the Chairperson of the Committee on Human Resource, Labor, and Employment for the sponsorship of the said measure.
Honorable Julius Caballas is recognized.
The Presiding Officer, this representation as the author of proposed ordinance number 16-64 hereby moves for the opening of the period for interpellation of the said legislative measure.
The period of interpellation is now opened. Hearing none.
The Presiding Officer, there being no further interpellation on the said proposed ordinance, hereby move that proposed ordinance number 16-64, entitled an ordinance providing for the reorganization of the PHO by creating new divisions, units, and positions in compliance with the Universal Healthcare Act, defining its duties and responsibilities, appropriating funds therefore, and for other related purposes, be approved in second reading.
We have we have closed the period of interpellation and debate and is now proceeding to the period of amendment. Just for the information of our observers, baka sabihin nyo ay bakit wala masyadong diskusyon sa ordinansang ito na aming ipinapasa, wala ng debate. Ito ay sapagkat dumaan na ito sa masusing pag-aaral ng komite kung saan ito ay nauna nang i-refer. At dahil doon ay yung mga issues and concerns, mga ilang discussions had been deliberated until the committee made a recommendation for its consideration sa plenary. Okay. Yes, that is just for the information of our observers. Now, we are now in the period of amendment. Any amendment from the floor? No proposed amendment? We are now closing the period of amendment. Yes, Honorable Caballes, what is now the pleasure?
With the closing of the period for amendment, this representation moves for the passage of proposed ordinance number 16-64, entitled an ordinance providing for the reorganization of the PHO by creating new divisions, units, and positions in compliance with the Universal Healthcare Act, defining its duties and responsibilities, appropriating funds therefore and for other related purposes, to be passed on second reading.
Any second to the motion? Duly seconded. Any objection? Hearing none, the motion is approved. The resolution approving proposed ordinance number 16-64 on second reading is now approved.
Madam Presiding Officer, may I ask the Secretary to please read proposed ordinance number 16-71.
Proposed ordinance number 16-71, an ordinance abolishing and creating certain positions in the Marinduque Provincial Hospital, defining its duties and responsibilities, appropriating funds therefore and for other related purposes, authored by Honorable Mark Julius P. Caballes, Chairperson of the Committee on Human Resource, Labor and Employment, is sponsored by the Committee on Human Resource, Labor and Employment.
Yes, Honorable Caballes.
The presiding officer, this representation formally moves for the opening of the period of debate and interpellation for proposed ordinance 16-71.
The floor is now open for any interpellation and deliberation on this matter. On proposed ordinance number 16-71. Any interpellation from the floor? Hearing none, what is the pleasure of Honorable Caballes?
There being no interpellation, Madam Presiding Officer, I move that we close the period for debate or interpellation and move to the period of amendments.
Any proposed amendment on the proposed ordinance being presented to us now for second reading? Again, for the information of our observers, this particular ordinance has been referred and thoroughly deliberated at the committee level, the Committee on Human Resources, Labor and Employment, kung saan ang iba ring mga miyembro ng kapulungang ito ay nauna na ring inimbitahan. Kahit hindi pa sila member ng committee, ay ino-open ng committee chair para sa ibang mga kasama ang committee meetings and committee hearings. Kaya almost everybody is already aware and informed about the content of this proposed ordinance. So there being no proposed amendment, what is the pleasure of Honorable Caballes?
Madam Presiding Officer, there being no amendment, I hereby move for the closing of the period for amendments. And I further move that proposed ordinance 16-71, entitled an ordinance abolishing and creating certain positions in the Marinduque Provincial Hospital, defining its duties and responsibilities and appropriating funds therefore and for other related purposes, to be passed on second reading.
The period of amendment is now closed and there is a pending motion by Honorable Caballes for approval of a proposed ordinance number 16-71 on second reading. Any second to the motion? Duly seconded by Honorable Rihano, Honorable Office Mercado. Any objection? Hearing none, the motion is approved. Proposed ordinance number 16-71 is now approved on second reading.
Thank you po.
Thank you, Honorable Caballes.
The third item is proposed ordinance number 16-35. May I ask the Secretary to read the title of the said proposed ordinance.
Proposed ordinance number 16-35, an ordinance institutionalizing the mental health care services in the province of Marinduque, establishing mechanisms and guidelines for its implementation, adopting certain provisions of Republic Act number 11036, appropriating funds thereof and for other purposes, authored by Honorable Bernardine E. Opis Mercado, Chairperson of the Committee Health and Nutrition and Committee on Women, Family Welfare and Gender Development, sponsored by the Committee on Health and Nutrition.
Madam Presiding Officer, may I ask that we recognize the Chairperson of the Committee on Health and Nutrition for the sponsorship of the said measure.
Honorable Bernardine Opis Mercado is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. Proposed Ordinance Number 16-35, an ordinance institutionalizing the mental health care services in the province of Marinduque, establishing mechanisms and guidelines for its implementation, and adopting certain provisions of Republic Act 11036, appropriating fund thereof and for other purposes. The floor is now open for the period of interpellation.
Any interpellation from this august body? On the part of the presiding officer, naalala ko lamang po, in the committee report, correct me if I'm wrong, there was manifestation or information from the Provincial Health Office parang advising us to be prudent or in institutionalizing mental health related services for being expensive of sort. May the presiding officer request the secretary kung matrace po ninyo to kindly read that particular recommendation of the provincial health officer as embodied in the adopted committee report. The presiding officer just wished to be assured na-address po yung concern ni Dr. Caballes. Sige po. That is included in the adopted committee report, di po baga? As one of the findings?
For the information of the presiding officer, it is committee report number 391. Series 2024 of the Committee on Health and Nutrition. It was rendered last session. And the findings, finding number 4.
The one from Dr. Caballes.
Yes,
Parang kinote
yeah. According to the Provincial Health Officer, the community-based mental program that is being proposed is already established by the PHO since 2013, which addresses the mental health issues in the community. He also expressed that mental health program should not be institutionalized and should not be in the hospital since it is very costly and inefficient. He emphasized that what mental health patients need is acceptance by the family and help from the community. He believes that what is more effective is for the provincial government to procure the needed medicines and provide them to the patients through their family or assisted by the BHW.
So yun lang po. Na-clarify na po ba yung concern ni Dr. Caballes? Parang apparently, when we adopt the ordinance, we will be institutionalizing the services for mental health. I think that is the intention of the ordinance. Ang binabanggit naman ng PHO, who will be the primary implementer of this ordinance just in case ma-approve po natin. It's parang he is discouraging us to institutionalize the services for being hindi ko ma-anal the exact term. So any comment on that para lang ma-harmonize natin yung final action natin vis-a-vis recommendation of the PHO. Honorable Manggol first. Okay lang? Okay lang. Honorable Manggol.
Committee hearing po tayo. Naalala ko po, ang sabi po ni ating pong Dr. Caballes, na hindi kailangang institutionalize. Mas kailangan bumili mas maraming gamot at doon alagaan ang pamilya sa kanilang mga tahanan. So, instead na ilagay sila sa isang lugar at doon i-treat, mas mabuti na sa bahay sila alagaan ng kanilang mga mahal sa buhay at suportahan ng gamot ng gobyerno. Parang ganun po ang napag-usap na banggit po ng ating pong PHO.
So any response to that, Honorable Opis Mercado.
Thank you po. Bali, napag-usapan din po doon na mag-focus lang po talaga sa services na binibigay like purchasing po ng mga gamot, tapos yung pag-care nga po sa may mga patients, dapat po yung family is kasama. Matulong po ang mga BHW, pero ini-encourage po ni Dr. Caballas talaga yung mag-put up tayo ng parang isang institution kasi sobrang mahal, hindi daw po natin akayanin. So, hindi po siya naniniwala na yun ang magiging solusyon doon. Kaya, more of services po yung gusto niyang mangyari dito.
And,
yes
and
po.
the committee accepted
Yes
the
po, yes po,
recommendation.
yes po.
But Section 8, ang nakalagay po sa Section 8, there will be psychiatric, psychosocial, and neurological services in hospitals in the province of Marinduque. So that is actually institutionalizing the services at the hospital, which is actually being discouraged by the Provincial Health Office based on ito pong paliwanag ninyo. So how are we going to harmonize it po?
Really po, yung nakalagay naman po kasi dito, yung mga services is ang makaka-avail lang po is yung mga outpatient hospital care po. Yung mga sa home care services. Tapos, hindi po talaga maglalagay tayo per se dun sa loob ng hospital. Pero ang nakaano po kasi dito is iisa lang po si Dr. Saho na ano natin for na psychiatrist. So, yun po yung napag-usapan namin doon.
Okay. Yes, Honorable Leva.
Parang doon sa original na proposal, merong mental health facility na i-establish. Yun yung tinanggal to adhere to the recommendation of the provincial health officer. Yung mental institution na establish at maglagay na lang daw ng ward sa provincial hospital.
Unit. Dito ho ay may
unit.
Unit, and nakalagay dito, it shall serve as the community-based mental health care facility of the hospital. The presiding officer just wish to be assured na may meeting of the minds with regard to the content of the provisions of the ordinance and the recommendation by the Provincial Health Office. So may binago na dun sa original na version. Yes, Honorable Red.
Madam Chair, my question is, kung ang pasyente po ay violente na, paano natin yung sinasabi ni Bukal din kanina, tsaka ni Bukal Neril, na sa bahay na lang gagamutin yung pasyente natin, pupuntahan na lang. Paano kung ito ay violente na yung pasyente? Dahil ito ay mental case ito, Madam Chair. Yung sinasabi naman ni Bukal Jojo na maglalagay tayo ng ward dyan, pwede rin naman po yun. Kaya lang, paano kung violente na at may katabi na mga pasyente rin sa hospital, Madam Chair.
Any response to that from the reporting committee chair? Concern po ang tanong po ng ating kasamang Bukal, paano po yung mga cases na mga medyo violent na ang mga pasyente, paano sila i-handle?
Sabi po kasi ni Dr. Caballas, doon nga papasok po yung care ng family. Nasa loob po siya ng tahanan at minomonitor din po sila ng mga BHW natin. Tapos sa monitoring po nila, sila po, lalo na po kung walang nag-aasikaso, sila po yung magpainom ng mga gamot. So talagang dapat po is nakafocus talaga doon po sa patient para po ma-monitor siya. Yun po yung pagkaka-explain niya nun.
Okay. Yes, Honorable Red.
Madam Chair, sa bayan po namin na sa Santa Cruz, sa barangay ng Matalaba, mayroon pong ganito na case. Always na pumupunta po sa amin ng mga nanunungkulan yung magulang. Pero ang totoo po niyan nananakit na yung pasyente. Kaya ginagapos siya talaga ng pamilya. Wala nang magagawa kundi igapos talaga yung pamilya. kahit ano pang pagbibigay ng gamot, kung talagang kinakailangan po siguro, dalawin na lang ng pamilya o doon igamutin talaga sa isang facility na hindi siya makakapanakit. Case to case basis naman palagay ko, Madam Chair, na yung pwede naman na sa bahay lang, tapos yung medyo talagang violente na, talagang dapat may paglalagyan po tayo, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Honorable Red. Any comment?
Madam
Yes,
Chair?
Honorable Mercado.
Kasi po pag yung nasabi po ni Bukal Red na gano'n na po kagrabe yung pasyente natin, hindi na po kayang i-handle, is meron naman po tayo para ma-transfer po sa kabila. So, meron pong nalalagay
Referral
po
system.
Yes po, opo.
Okay. Yes, are you satisfied, Honorable Red? Before Honorable Encabo?
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay po. Yes, Honorable Encabo.
Maraming salamat po, Madam Chair. There is one case po doon sa aming bayan sa Barangay Tawiran. Talaga pong nananakit na yung mga yung tao talaga nakagapos. Tama po yung sinasabi ni Bukal Red. The problem is yung transportation po to transfer the patient, yun po ang nagkakaroon ng problema. Siguro kasi it needs a special care, it needs a special attention po talaga, Madam Chair. Ang alam ko po talaga tinatransfer po yan sa ang hindi po kagad immediately natatransfer yung pasyente. Siguro we have to give focus on this muna. Kasi po, nananakit po talaga yung pasyente, lumalapit po sa amin na i-transfer yung pasyente kaagad dahil gano'n na po ang mahirap po naman isakay yung sa sasakyan na kasi nakatali, violente.
Thank you, Honorable Encabo. Response with regard to Honorable Encabo's comment, then Honorable Caballes.
Okay po. Bali po yung ating mga BHW po, sila po yung makikipag-coordinate sa ating mga MSWD o pag hindi na po kaya ng MSWD o ay PSWD o naman po ang mag-handle nito. Meron naman po tayong 398 dito na board, yung Provincial Mental Health Board. So sila na po ang bahala doon para sa mga policy making body po para maibigay natin yung tamang pag-care dun sa mga patients natin. Thank you po.
Thank you, Honorable Opis. Honorable Caballes. Are you satisfied, Honorable Encabo, sa initial response?
Madam Chair, that's okay. Pero I hope, kasi pag violente na po yung pasyente, ang una pong tinatawag ng kapamilya is kapulisan Dapat i-include yung kasi yung magta-transport or somebody who can take care dun sa sa pasyente na violente na. I-include, may policy board po sila, sana i-include din po nila yun na ganung scenario. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Encabo. Tama po yan. Doon po sa referral system dito sa line 200, may mini-mention dito na with other health and social welfare programs, both government and non-government for programs in prevention of mental health, maaring in coordination with different agencies. Yes, Honorable Caballes.
Dagdag lang po dun sa explanation po ni Bukal din Office Mercado ay yun po yung purpose ng referral system dahil kapag severe na po yung case ng mental health disorder, ang usual na SOP po talaga kahit po ng mga doctors ay ilagay po sa public asylum, yung mga dedicated, mga specialized hospitals na dedicated lang po sa severe cases of mental health disorders dahil kung mapapansin nyo po sa provincial hospitals, there are rarely cases na merong dedicated ward for severe cases of mental health disorders dahil nagiging cause nga rin siya ng safety concerns ng ibang patients po. Kaya tingin ko po yung reason kung bakit isinama po ni Bukal din yung referral system. At yung any other cases naman po that exist here in our province ay kinonsider po yung availability of resources ng province and yung viability of establishing specialized hospital, which as of the moment is not really feasible for the province. Kaya po nataguyod po dito yung referral system.
Okay, thank you. So, does it mean na yung pong concern ni Dr. Caballes ay na-consider na dito sa version na i-adapt natin? Okay. Thank you, Honorable Caballes. Honorable Leva?
Doon po sa sinabi ni Bukal Melengcabo na meron pong issue ng peace and order din itong mental health problem. Kasi nakikita po natin palaboy-laboy sa lansangan yung mga may mga mental health illness at saka yung iba ay nakakasakit na. Maaari po bang idagdag natin sa Provincial Mental Health Board a representative from the Philippine National Police para meron din po silang masabi dito sa period of amendment?
Any response from the proponent?
Yes po, I am amenable po na talagang katuwang naman po natin ang PNP pagdating po sa mga ganitong mga problema sa lansangan. Thank you po.
Thank you po. I will reserve my right to propose amendment mamaya po sa period of amendment. Isa pa po napansin ko doon sa mental health mental health awareness month. Doon po sa deliberation, parang naglagay po kita ng one-day mental health break for the employees of the provincial government during the month of October, pero parang hindi po nakasaad dito. Ay, ito po ay parang nakaano lang, ay parang
yes.
Nasaan po doon? Ang nakalagay po dito sa line 292, a mental health break for the may be implemented in school and offices. Yung pong talagang mandato na pwede po mag-avail ng one-day mental health break ang provincial employees of the provincial government.
What line are we talking about?
Line 292 po. Parang ini-impose po natin na binamandate po natin na ang mga empleyado during the mental health awareness month ay magkameron ng one-day mental health break.
Instead of the word may?
Hindi, siguro po isang sentence na yun, tapos kasama pa rin po ito, para naman po ito doon sa mga offices outside of the provincial government.
Okay. So
I also would like to propose I would like also to propose amendment on that later on.
In the period of amendment, yes. Any other information? Hearing none, what is the pleasure of the sponsoring chair and proponent?
Hearing none, I move that the period of interpellation be closed.
The period of interpellation and debate is now closed, and we can proceed with, yes, Honorable.
Yes, we are now open for the period of some amendments. Thank you.
The period of amendment is now opened for the body. Yes, Honorable Leva.
Madam Presiding Officer, I propose amendment on line 113 to include representative from the Philippine National Police as member.
Is the body amenable to the amendment?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. What are the other amendments?
Another amendment on
292,
line 292 before the sentence after the word province, the provincial government of Marinduque shall have a one-day mental health break for its employees subject to style. Pero retain pa rin po yung word, a mental health break for employees and may be implemented in other schools and offices, both government and private.
Outside of the provincial government.
Outside of the
Is the proponent amenable to those additional amendments?
Yes, Madam Presiding Officer, thank you.
Any objection from the floor? Hearing none, let's proceed.
We are now closing the period of amendment. We now move for the passage of an ordinance institutionalizing the mental health care services in the province of Marinduque, establishing mechanisms and guidelines for its implementation, adopting certain provisions of Republic Act 11036, appropriating fund thereof and for other purposes. I move for the approval on second reading.
Any concern, Honorable Leva? Is that a second?
Second.
Any objection? Hearing none, the motion is approved. Proposed ordinance number 16-35 is now approved on second reading.
The next item in the business for the day is the proposed resolution by the Committee on Education.
Honorable Red is recognized.
Madam Chair, this representation moves for the approval of a resolution congratulating Mr. Justin Lay Mangaliman Liazos for being hailed as the champion in the Condiman Song Fest during the 11th Philippine Association of State Universities and Colleges Cultural and Arts Festival 2024 held on April 23 to 25, 2024 at the Philippine Normal University, Manila. I so move, Madam Chair.
Any second to the motion by Honorable Red, duly seconded by Honorable Opis Mercado. Any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. Proposed resolution number 2024-685 is now adopted.
That closes our business for the day. We don't have an unassigned business. Madam Presiding Officer, inasmuch as proposed ordinance number 16-64 was approved on second reading without amendment, I move that we consider the same for third and final reading in today's session. I so move. Proposed ordinance 16-64 for third and final reading, Madam Presiding Officer.
So what is the, you are moving for its approval?
Its
already?
Consideration for third and final reading.
Okay, without the need for reading it. Kasi
Without final reading, yes.
Okay, there is a motion for the approval of proposed ordinance number 16-64 on third and final reading. Any second to the motion? Duly seconded by Honorable Manggol, Honorable Red, Honorable Opis Mercado. Any objection? Hearing none, the motion is approved. Ordinance number 16-64, entitled An Ordinance Providing for the Reorganization of the Provincial Health Office by creating new division and units and abolition and creation of positions in compliance with the Universal Health Care Act, defining its functions, duties, and responsibilities, appropriating funds therefore and for other related purposes, authored by Honorable Mark Julius P. Caballes, and sponsored by the members of the Committee on Human Resource, Labor, and Employment, is now approved on third and final reading.
Madam Presiding Officer, inasmuch as proposed ordinance number 16-71 was approved on second reading without any amendment, I move that we consider the same for third and final reading without reading the entirety of the said ordinance.
Any second to the motion? Duly seconded by Honorable Manggol, Honorable Red, Honorable Opis Mercado, Honorable Rejano. Any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. Proposed ordinance number 16-71, entitled An Ordinance Abolishing and Creating Certain Positions at the Marinduque Provincial Hospital, the MPH, defining its duties and responsibilities, appropriating funds therefore and for other related purposes, authored by Honorable Mark Julius P. Caballes, and sponsored by the members of the Committee on Human Resource, Labor, and Employment, is now approved on third and final reading.
That's all for the ordinance and resolution for third and final reading.
Before we adjourn, the presiding officer would just want to give us a few minutes to Miss Carla Jaini Manyanita to share with the board members your impression on the session that you observed.
So, good afternoon po. Gusto ko po muna sana nga magpasalamat po at nabigyan po kami ng pagkakataon na mag-observe po dito sa ating panlalawigan session nun po. So, gusto ko din po magpasalamat sa DILG po na sa provincial director po namin na si Sir German Yap, kay Sir Eric Matining, kay Sir Daryl Benevento rin, kay Ma'am Z po na kung hindi rin po dahil sa kanila, hindi rin naman po kami mabibigyan ng chance na mapunta po dito. So, kanina po ay lumapit po sa amin yung isa pong staff isa pong secretary at tinatanong po yung expression po namin. So, ang una pong tanong doon ay, ano po yung general impression po namin of the process or the legislator's work. So, share ko lang po na nung first year po kami, parang nagkaroon po kami ng subject po na parliamentary procedures po. Na kung saan, kung to be honest po ay hindi ko na rin ho siya talaga ganun katanda since online class din po talaga yan. Pero nung nag-start po to, bali parang naalala ko ho bigla na, ay parang natakal namin to. Yung mga processes po, yung kanina yung pag-open po, yung pagbigay ng floor, pagbasa po ng minutes, yung mga ganun. Parang bigla ko ho naalala. So, ang general impression po namin ay nakakatuwa ho kasi na ang ating mga parliamentarian ay napakahuhusay ho sa mga ginagawa ho nila. Parang alam naman po namin na bihasa na ho kayo, pero sa amin po kasi since first time po namin na makatin sa ganito, first time po namin mabigyan ng chance, ay na-amaze ho talaga kami. Parang bagong-bago lang din ho sa amin yung ganitong pagkakataon po. So, sa tulong din po ng mga parliamentarians, ng presiding officers, ng floor readers po, parang dahil po sa kanila, mas napadali ho, mas naunawaan po namin yung mga nangyayari, yung mga agendas po, yung mga ordinances po na mas nakakasunod na ho kami sa mga dinidiscuss po ngayon. So, yung pangalaw po ay how important parliamentary procedures during this session. So, sa pagsunod po ng parliamentary rules, nakikita naman po namin na it helped the parliamentarian to, since this serves as their guidance po. Katulad naman na sinabi ko na gawa po dito ay na sa pagkakadiscuss po ay yun po, mas nakakasunod na nga ho kami. Mas natututunan po namin kung ano yung reason kung bakit po nagkakaroon ng ganito. Ano po yung nakikita po namin na through this po ay mas napapakinggan ho yung kailangan at issues and concerns po ng mga tao sa ating local community po. So, ano po yung importance ng local lawmaking? So, the importance of local lawmaking is that through this, mas nabibigyan ng chance ma-address ang mga, yun po, yung mga concerns, issues, and complaints ng mga tao. Katulad po nung nabanggit po kanina yung municipal ordinances po, yung sa mga gas stations po na magkakaroon ng comfort rooms. Yung ano din po ay yung sa kalutang group po, yun. Parang nakakatuwa po na naging part po kami ng session na ito at nalaman rin ho namin na marami ho pala talagang issues ang mga tao sa ating probinsya po. At yun po, ang akala rin ho namin na porket hindi ho namin alam or hindi ho namin nakikita na napapag-usapan siya ay wala po kayong ginagawa. Pero yun totoo po pala ay I mean ano po ay I mean po, ganun po kasi yung ano ng tao po kapag hindi po nila nakikita ay ibig sabihin hindi po ginagawa. Pero yun nga po, sobrang nakakatuwa ho na
Dr. Encarnado, ikaw ba yan?
sobrang nakakatuwa ho na nabigyan ho kami ng chance na ayun, parang kami na rin ho yung magiging proof na hindi totoo na walang ginagawa yung gobyerno natin Porket hindi nakikita na walang ginagawa, hindi nila nakikita na hindi napapag-usapan ng maayos ay yun nga po, hindi effective ang government. Pero yung ang totoo po ay napakalaking tulong po talaga ng ginagawa. Parang low-key lang po bagay yung, yung ano. Yun lang po.
Okay. So, yun. Maraming salamat, Jaime, at si Cristel at si Jeffrey. Maraming salamat sa inyong observation. At pwede bang bilang panghuli ay talagang nagre-request ang 16th Sangguniang Panlalawigan na tulungan talaga ninyo ang institusyon na ito na maiparating sa ating mga pinagsisilbihan na hindi nagpapabaya ang kanilang mga nanunungkulan. Maaring ang aming lang trabaho ay hindi regular na nakikita, pero hindi nagpapabaya ang mga nanunungkulan. At saka tulungan nyo kami na itaas yung socio-political maturity ng mga kababayan, ng mga kabataan tungkol sa trabaho ng isang lokal na mambabatas. Okay. Maraming salamat sa inyo.
Thank you po. Thank you po.
Yes, Honorable Leva.
Madam Presiding Officer, since no matters to discuss with, I move to adjourn.
The session is adjourned until next Friday, May 10 at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.